Okay, so let's go over a few more finding areas of non-right triangles. So areas where I do not have a right triangle in. In this case, we talked about one similar to this in the last video. I got 25 degrees, a 6, and a 12. The problem is I cannot use 1/2 BH unless B and H match at a 90-degree angle. So I need to find some different pieces. The first thing I can do is I need to drop a height right down the middle. So let's go ahead and find that height right there. If I know this triangle here, I got 25 and 6, I need to find H. That's nothing more than sine of 25 equals H over 6, and H because it's height. So cross multiply, I get 6 sine 25 equals H. And so I say 6 times sine 25. Answer is 2.535. Let's go with 2.5. H equals 2.5. 2.5. So now I can simply say 1/2 of base, 12, times height, 2.5. Put that together, that's my area. So that works out really nicely. Now, let's go over here. In this case, I don't have very many sides at all. I have only one side, but I do have two angles. Well, if I want to find 1/2 base times height, I need to know what is C. I also need to know how to find that guy right there. Well, I don't know. Let's see here. First things we ought to do is find C. Well, how in the world do I find C? In this case, do I know a pair of an angle and a side across from it? If I do, I can use the law of sine. Sine 43 over 6 equals. Now, I don't know this angle right up here, but I bet you I can get it pretty quick. Because if these three angles have to add up to 180, now all I have to do is say, oh, well, what is 180 minus 30 minus 42? Answer is A equals 108. So 108. So I can say sine of 108 over thing I don't know, C, and now all I have to do is cross multiply. So I have C times sine 43 equals 6 sine 108, and then divide both sides to get C by itself. So I'm going to divide by sine of 43. So here we go. 6 times sine 108. Don't forget to put parentheses on the end of that, and then divide all that by sine 43. In my calculator, it's real easy. In a phone, it would be significantly more challenging. That's why I do recommend have a calculator. It'd be about 8.4. So that equals 8.4. So now I have 1/2 of 8.4 times, I still don't know my height. Well, we just did something like this over here, didn't we? So can I find this height of this triangle? So let's go down here and let's find the height of the triangle. In this particular case, to find the height of the triangle, I need this guy right here. I know this is 30 and I know this is 6. So can I find that side right there saying, oh, opposite hypotenuse, sine of 30 equals thing I don't know over 6. Multiply both sides by 6. 6 times sine 30, which should be 3. Yep, it is. Equals 3. X equals 3. So the height here equals 3. So now I can plug that right in here and find my area. You'll notice I had to use the law of sines and I had to use the area formula. Guys, this is where you're headed when you're talking about Algebra 2. Now, let's talk about this guy over here. I don't know a whole lot. I do know that it's what kind of triangle? equilateral. So I know each of these angles is 60. 60. And to find the area, 1/2 base times height, I need this guy right here. 1/2 base height. Well, again, if this is 8, this is 8 up here. So I know equals 1/2 8 times something. How do I find this height right up here? How do I find x? Well, x over 8 would equal sine of 60 because that's opposite hypotenuse. Cross multiply, so x is going to equal 8 sine 60. 8 sine 60. So in this case, we would say 8 times sine of 60 and plug it in. So I have 0.5 times 8 times 8 times sine of 60. That is 27. That doesn't seem right. I think I typed it in wrong. 0.5 times 8 times 8 times sine of 60. Oh, that's the area. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. So the area here would be 27.7. Now, just for fun and giggles, though, ladies and gentlemen, because this height was simply 8 times sine 60, but we know what the sine of 60 is. In a 30, 60, 90 triangle, I have root 3, 1, and 2. Sine of 60 would be root 3 over hypotenuse 2. So I could say x equals 8 times root 3 over 2. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because there's actually a way to substitute this in. And I would have 1/2 times 8 times 8 times root 3 over 2, which if I put it all together would be 1/4 times the square root of 3 times whatever the side is, in our case 8, squared. This is another formula for equilateral triangles. It's a very special formula for equilateral triangles, and it all comes out of the fact that the height is always going to have to do in an equilateral triangle with the sine of 60. And so I'm always going to get two sides and a sine of 60, and it'll work out there. So that's another formula that you can use for areas of equilateral triangles because there's no right angles.